for me to uncover my ability right now. The genuine justification for why he didn't uncover the ability rank was that he personally didn't have the foggiest idea about his gift's rank is concealed. Subsequent to hearing his class, even the chief was excited that one of his understudies had stirred the warlock class. He let everybody know that the sorcerer is an uncommon secret job. Different understudies were significantly more shocked to hear that. A person said, "There was once a magician who cleared out one more association on his own." Math, who was ridiculing Lion, was presently tense. He was unable to accept what he heard, thinking, "How can this be?" Yet he consoled himself, thinking, "Imagine a scenario in which it's a secret job. Mages are broadly delicate jobs, and they're the most terrified of somebody drawing near to and killing them. Also, magicians are much more vulnerable than ordinary individuals in light of the numerous years they enjoy in touch with the undead. Notwithstanding that, it requires a very lengthy investment to project a gathering spell, and one might say that they have no colleagues to safeguard them. Professional killers, fighters, and likewise assault-centered jobs are the sorcerer's ideal companion." Math saw Lion's back with a priggish grin and thought, "Since he didn't express this ability's position, I'm certain this is on the grounds that his ability was excessively low positioned and he felt humiliated expressing it without holding back." Yet different understudies were not really desirous and were just shocked at how saved and careful Leon's class is. A person said, "Leon isn't pompous or bad-tempered. Is this the disposition that a virtuoso has?" he said. "Leon plays a secret part yet is still so humble. I couldn't realistically contrast with him." Another person said, "This should be the contrast between a virtuoso and us common individuals. Even his character is so grounded. If I somehow happened to draw a secret job, I wouldn't have the option to be basically as quiet as Leon." Well, they all were taking a gander at him with deference in their eyes. However, Lon is a warlock who can't project even a solitary spell and is just marginally more grounded than a typical individual. Lon couldn't say whether he can safeguard himself in the novice's preparation, so how could he try to raise a ruckus over this? Lon was terrified, reasoning, "What would it be advisable for him he do when his colleagues acknowledge he can't gather even a solitary undead animal?" He had such countless inquiries, thus couple of replies. Simultaneously, head Jinlong was extremely dazzled by Lion. He was imagining that once Lion finishes the fledgling's preparation, he can enter the country's top colleges individually. After everybody's presented themselves, head Jinlong declared that the present class closes here. Everybody return home and plan for the upcoming novice preparing. Leon attempted to return home, yet he got found out by his Yangshe. He said, "Leon, you're truly magnificent. For what reason would I be able to have drawn the magician job rather?" Yet in the end, he wasn't so terrible himself as he had 8 soul focuses. He showed his details to Leon and said, "My ability isn't terrible, right?" Leon recollected his despicable 0 in the soul detail. He told Yangshe that ability doesn't make any difference, difficult work can compensate for ungainliness. Leon felt that Yangshi's details are undeniably single-digit numbers. Then, at that point, doesn't having 76 detail focuses make me a god-level being? After that, Leon at last got back home, and when he went into the house, he said, "I'm home," yet there was just quietness and void. This is the house his folks abandoned. After his folks vanished, he generally got down on "I'm home" each time he got back. In his recollections, his dad and mom would do so every time they got back. Unfortunately, now he could recall them, and all he had left behind was one image of them together. His folks in this world were excellent and kind individuals. Yet when Lion was 6, his folks said they needed to go out traveling to the capital, and afterward they out of nowhere bafflingly vanished. And after that, Leon turned into a vagrant. Taking a gander at the photograph, Leon thought it had proactively been a long time since they vanished. He pondered where on earth have they gone. So Leon concluded that he should get into the capital's college and figure out reality behind it all. The following day, Leon alongside the other understudies appeared where the novices were rehearsing. Head Jinlong remained in front and said, I, as it were, have one solicitation for the present fledgling preparation, in a serious and melancholy voice. He said, on the off chance that you figure you can't do it, if it's not too much trouble, make sure to withdraw promptly. Regardless of whether you bomb the preparation, it's superior to kicking the bucket during it. Hearing this, the understudies were truly terrified. However, the chief quieted them down, saying, there's compelling reason should be too apprehensive. The novice's reality isn't extremely risky and won't make players pass on. Yet everything has an exemption. The chief let them know that there was already a horrendous episode where a particular fledgling's reality made a class of 40 be totally cleared out, and they disappeared without a follow. Until this day, nobody understands what sort of stunning fledgling's world that was. All they know is that the world was called Bad Dream Town. Hearing this, poor people understudies were frightened and confounded. All their trust in their own capacities evaporated without a follow. The chief kept on playing profound swings with them and again said, there's compelling reason should be so grave either, as long as you leave the other world in time, you'll be in no peril. And they drove them to prepare on the grounds that once the stopwatch arrives at 0, now is the ideal time to enter the other world. Promptly, the commencement started, and 10 seconds flew by like a flicker of an eye. With that, the fledgling's preparation takes care of started. Dull surges of energy every one of the understudies, and with a glimmer of dim lightning, everybody moved to a different universe where they were to step through the examination. From the vibes of it, the town was the most common and calm. While Lon kept on glancing around, Math started to egotistically console every one of the understudies, persuading them that he will safeguard everybody. Math requests that everybody follow him, saying he will carry everybody to progress. He is feeling that regardless of whether Lion is a magician, he will demonstrate that he, Math, is the most reasonable to be this class chief and is the most grounded man in the entire class. Well, on one side, Math is having his predominance complex. On the other hand, Leon is feeling bizarre. He is thinking, what sort of fledgling world is this? Why haven't there been any framework prompts? Abruptly, everybody hears a voice from behind. When they turn to the wellspring of the voice, they see an elderly person whose entire body is blue. The elderly person says, you're all so youthful. It's such a pity. Everybody gets truly shocked, asking who this NPC is. Leon likewise inquisitively asks the elderly person what he implies by that. The elderly person overlooks their inquiries and invites them to Bad Dream Town. Unexpectedly, the town that looked typical a little while ago transformed into a dull, terrifying-looking town. A blue window springs up before everybody, expressing, welcome to the beginner preparing Bad Dream Town. The framework works out the trouble, and it's at beginner S rank. The framework lets everybody know that the novice's preparation's trouble is determined independently from different universes. A fledgling's S rank is generally equivalent to an ordinary world's E rank. Another message comes, saying the preparation prerequisite is to leave alive and find the mystery at the center of Bad Dream Town. Everybody gets truly stunned subsequent to seeing that this town is Bad Dream Town, the one that killed 40 individuals and that nobody's passed before. Frightened understudies begin running towards the town entrance, saying they need to return home. They would rather not play any longer. Math requests that everybody quit, saying, don't stress, I will lead everybody out of Bad Dream Town. While everybody was overreacting, Leon begins pondering what he ought to do. He knows that in EL world requirements one to basically have a level at the beginning phase, and since they're all at devotee's level, they need to think about how they can pass. This levels in the other world are separated into 4 phases: pupil, beginning stage, center stage, and late stage. Supporters are levels 1 to 10. Beginning phases are 11, 20, etc. Abruptly, the understudies who need to return home quickly return when they get close to the town entrance. They get more frightened, seeing that they can't even leave. The elderly person requests that everybody quit striving and lets them know that when they enter Bad Dream Town, they can never leave. In the wake of hearing the elderly person's words, understudies begin crying, saying on the off chance that they can't pass on, they're all going to kick the bucket. Math requesting that they take a few to get back some composure, says he will lead everybody out of Bad Dream Town, yet Leon is quiet. He thought, No